God's sake, we don't want that.
Call me a musician.
Well, here we are with at least 3 people who are doing Bandzilla in the same room, because we've been recording this album separately, and I just finished recording all the trumpets with John Thirkell, a man and his music, or often known as a man and his music.
Indeed.
And here, sitting in the center where he should be, is the only person in this room with a 6-pack, Ed Barker.
Hello.
Late of parliamentary fame, and now going to be tortured in my studio very soon, playing alto, tenor, baritone sax, and flute, clarinet,
Bass
and
clarinet.
yes. Now,
Looking forward to that.
yes, I'm very looking forward to that, because you don't want to retard if you play the bass. Well, okay.
True.
Okay.
True.
So, but first I want to talk to John, just because John was in the original Bandzilla, the original first incarnation of the band. There it is. And the deal is that I just wanted to ask a little bit about the beginnings of Bandzilla, because John was there, and from the musician's point of view, how was this band received?
I think it's a great critical acclaim, Richard.
Yes, I mean, like, as a musician,
Sadly,
when
nobody
everybody
bought the
heard,
record, but
when everybody
the
heard
acclaim
it,
was critical.
the acclaim was very critical. It was, what was the kind of consensus amongst the musicians who were asked to suddenly take part in this band?
Richard's a lunatic. It was, I think, was the overriding
Yes.
sentiment which
Yes.
came from most of the guys.
Yes, yes.
Writing things which are impossible to play in really difficult keys.
Yes,
But
extremely difficult.
somehow, it was an impossible job, but somehow we managed it.
Yes, that's what you get
And
for working with a guitar player.
There we are indeed.
Yeah,
Yes.
impossible keys. Well, that's great. And I just wanted John to kind of explain how we recorded the first album as opposed to the second album, because we did it all in one room.
We did, in fact, yes, that's right. Back in the day, we recorded the whole band. In fact, we did the whole thing, as you remember, Rich, in a couple of days, up at Snake Ranch Studios in London.
Yes.
And you had assembled a sort of, the cream of the crop, as it were, plus
Yes.
a few hangers on.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's it was quite a task to get all that stuff together in 2 days.
Absolutely.
A lot of people sight reading the stuff, and it's really
Yes.
difficult, super difficult stuff.
Yes, thank God I had people
yeah,
they were doing.
but I think the results speak for themselves.
Yes. And
But of course, in the reincarnation of Bandzilla, we are doing it with a much smaller squad,
Yes.
largely for fiscal reasons, but
Yes. Fiscal, but also
for physical reasons
for
too.
physical reasons,
Yes.
because I get to sit on his lap later.
Indeed.
No,
indeed.
but the thing is that it's kind of interesting that John is doing all the trumpets. So all of the trumpets on the record will have his interpretation of the phrasing, tone, the kind of where to put the accents, where to put the dynamics. So it's all coming from one guy, which makes it super tight.
Well, yes. I'm my favourite person to play with.
Yeah, well, listen, as Woody Allen said, at least it's sex with someone you love.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. No, it is. It's very. It's quite a challenge because doing the trumpets first. As you know, we recorded the 4 trumpets first, and then Ed's going to start on the saxes later, and then the trombones we're going to do back in London with Mark
Yes.
Nightingale. But to be the first one to go, I start 4th trumpet, 3rd trumpet, 2nd trumpet, and layer them up like this. Starting with the 4th trumpet, it's a little bit exposed. I'm playing pretty much a low note.
Something which you like doing.
Indeed. If there's something which needs, in the final analysis, will be a hard attack like that. It's quite hard to start that process off playing a bottom C, on your own. But you sort of imagine what else is going to go on there, and battle on really.
Indeed, and I've got to say the results have been absolutely fantastic, and I've had so much fun in the last 5 days multi-tracking with Uncle John.
It's been epic.
But now I'm going to start torturing this young fellow here, Ed Barker, and we've worked together a lot too. So why don't you tell the studio audience here what we've done together?
Well, I think we met in 2008.
Yes.
My very good friend Nigel Hitchcock, the epic saxophone player, who's also on the album.
Who's also on the album.
Yes. Heard the solos for the first time today, and they sound great. He introduced me to you, and Richard originally gave me arranging and production lessons. That's how we started our relationship.
Yes, and you learned very fast,
I learned
must say.
a lot of stuff. I wrote out all your scores, all those
Yes.
handwritten scores
Yes.
you've got. The old Bandzilla.
Yes,
Actually, they were the originals
Yes,
that you
you
sat
wrote
there and
all
wrote
them
by
out.
hand.
yes.
The
And
football
Ed
scores.
Ed
Yeah.
took the score. Yeah, the football score. Ed took the scores, and because I didn't at that time, I was very bad at transcribing stuff into Sibelius, and
Okay.
so he took the handwritten scores and transcribed a lot of them. So that was very helpful.
It was a great start to my musical education.
Yes.
And then
Every once in a while, he'd call me up and he'd say, "Rich, you can't have really written this thing, can you?" Yeah. He says, "But isn't that wrong?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yes, but wrong is kind of fun." to
Well, you
listen
taught
to
me that new way of thinking about harmony, which is a kind of triadic way of thinking about harmony, and just very, very interesting. So that's how we started. Then I
Yes.
eventually did my own album, and Richard played on it, and we co-wrote a few of those tunes, and
Yes,
co-wrote,
indeed.
and we actually recorded here in
Yes.
LA. And then we're here today, and now it's my turn to play on your album. It's very exciting.
Yes, thank God for that. Well, it's going to be fun. And I just wanted to show you this lovely ability for three of us to be in the same room together, because so much of this record is being done, through files being sent and in other countries and all of that
But
stuff.
isn't it lovely to be here in LA, Rich, with the cicadas going in the
Yes,
background?
yes. You can hear that noise,
It's,
perhaps.
yeah, it is lovely.
Yeah.
It's really.
Is that the noise when they rub their legs together?
It is, yeah.
They're very loud tonight.
Yeah.
Why do they rub their legs together, I wonder? Do they do it for fun? Or?
Who knows? Who knows? But I have a question for you, Richard.
Yes, good.
Are these your books here?
Yes, yes,
see
it just so happens that...
now just those books.
Is this a
very
shameless plug?
interesting.
Yes, the
Oh.
Invisible Artist, Dreaming the King,
Amazing.
Sabbath
Yeah.
interviews. Yes,
Yeah.
they just happen to be here. I don't know how that
Isn't it
happened.
amazing? Are there any pictures in there, Rich?
Pictures? Oh, there's lots of pictures, yes.
Oh, well, I shall be heading down to the bookstore in the morning
Yes,
to buy
yes.
a copy.
I'm going to be releasing the comic book version of The Invisible Artist soon.
Indeed.
So, yeah. And with this hat, I think we've covered everything now. And
Yeah.
good luck.
Before
Watch
we
this
make-
space. We'll do it.
Before we
Just
make,
found it on the
before we
piano.
make an exhibition of ourselves.
Yes, well, we hope to be exhibiting ourselves in front of you soon on stages all over the world. But until then, John Thirkell, Edward Barker, and I'm still Richard Niles, wishing you happy Bandzilla-ing. Can I use that as a verb?
You can use it as an adjective if
And
you
can
like.
you give us a
Should we have
final...
a group hug?
Well, we can do that, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
do
have a
that.
group hug.
And then,
Oh yes.
Bandzilla.
It's an excerpt from the album there.
Yeah.
and good night.